so we can't even see it on our end.
Going live, YouTube. Going live. Wonderful. Alright, we're not as widescreen anymore, so we're going to pull it out right there. Mike, you can scoot your chair in a little bit. Alright, YouTube, I'm here with my family live. We're doing a virtual happy hour. We're just going to be here. I've got my laptop in front of me. Got our adult beverages or non-adult beverages. It's okay. I've got a margarita. Tell us what you're drinking here in the live chat below. We've got some wind, but it's nice outside, so we're going to make the best of it. We're all quarantined, so let's enjoy this together. What I want you to do is I want you to be able to ask us questions. If you got questions for me, you want to hear funny stories, whatever that may be, this is just an interactive time to get to know each other a little bit better. And like I said, that live YouTube chat right down below on mobile or to the right on desktop is available. You can ask questions as much as you'd like. We're here to answer and just here to have a good time. So I'm going to go ahead, get back over here, get on the laptop so that way I can answer some questions.
Hi, YouTube.
There we go. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
We're going to say cheers.
Perfect. Yep, let's cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to quarantine, staying healthy, staying happy, staying safe.
We're going to play music?
Yeah, if you want to throw some music on, we can throw some music on. Not yet. Remember, for everyone that's joining in now, I see a couple of people are joining in off of the link. Hopefully the wind is not a distraction. Please let me know if it is. But what you can do is you can use that live chat either to the right on laptop or desktop or down below on mobile to go ahead and ask some questions. I got my family here, my girlfriend here, my mom here, dad's over in the back getting music ready. But we're here. We're happy to answer some questions. Everybody wants to de-stress a little bit after a busy week of quarantine. So we're here to answer some questions.
You have a live cast all day.
Yeah, you were. But why don't we get the music rolling, and then we can...
Who's on? Who's live?
What do you want to listen to?
Yeah, let us know who's on.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, you can ask Wix questions.
Yes, it's possible to ask some Wix questions. Yeah, music, sorry. Can you hit pause on that? Thank you. Yes, it is totally possible to ask Wix questions. Go ahead and ask Wix questions. You can ask whatever questions you want. We're here to answer them. Again, we're here to have a good time. We'll play some music in the background. Just a good opportunity to de-stress after a quarantine week. How do we, well, that's a very technical question. How do we craft an automated system through Wix? Well, that's a great question. It just completely depends on what you're looking to automate. If you're looking to automate emails, you can use Wix Shoutout, Wix Triggered Emails, so that way after people submit a form or sign up to be a member of your website, automated emails will go out with files. That's always an option to go through. But again, it definitely comes down to what you're looking to automate and how you'd like to automate it. I'm curious, like they said, where's everyone tuning in from? Go ahead and use the chat below. Yeah, you can see it right there.
I'm trying to see who's on. Can I go get my glasses?
Oh, Norway.
I mean, you don't really, yeah.
Okay, Norway.
We got Norway on. That's awesome. Yes, we're hoping that everything your way as well calms down as far as coronavirus. Perfect. So go ahead and write in that chat where you're tuning in from. Australia, Maryland. Awesome.
Global.
Yeah, we're global. And then what are you enjoying? Are you enjoying a beverage at a virtual happy hour?
Norway and Australia.
Norway and Australia, potentially. I'm not, Tunisia? How do you even say that? Tunisia. Wow, we are global tonight. Carlsberg. That's Norway, I guess.
There's a dude up in Dunmore.
There was a guy from Scranton on our live stream.
The other one.
He goes, hey, I heard you were from Dunmore. He goes, I gotta welcome you.
Who was it? Oh, we got someone's got a beer. All right, that's a good start. We got a beer in Norway.
Lots of beer in Norway.
There's lots of beer in Norway. There's lots of beer in Europe in general.
And I heard they really don't like Fosters in Australia. Is that true?
That's right, Foster's is
They don't like Fosters in Australia. Is that true?
So Australia, for you watching, go ahead. Wait.
Do you not like Fosters in Australia? That's what the rumor is in the States.
So I'll let you guys be the judge of that. You can go ahead and answer. So here we go. Well, so now with everybody watching here, again, you can see the chat is fairly active right now. Everybody's, messaging where they're tuning in from. So with that chat, you also have the ability to ask questions. And again, we're more than happy to answer. But it's, it's a great way to loosen up after the week. And it looks like, wow, 1 a.m. We're, hi, hello. Tunisia.
Wow. Way out there.
Oh, we got an answer from Australia.
What about Foster?
You're correct. We only export it. We don't drink it ourselves. There we go. There we go. That's awesome.
Australian for beer.
Yeah. Australian sewer water?
They only export it. They don't drink it
Australian
themselves.
sewer water. We pay imported prices.
That's how we feel about Dunmore.
Yeah, true. Awesome. I'm glad to see everybody's tuning in. It's cool to see.
Tunisia, that's out there too.
Well, it's really cool to see global. I mean, global participants.
Well, they heard happy hour.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. All
They're
right,
at the end of their night. They're checking in before they're going to bed.
right. So Shopify is basically in the wind at the moment. The one thing I like with Shopify are all the additions, plugins that you can add. Do you think plugins for the Wix store will be added in the app market? Yeah, so that's a good question. So currently Wix does have a variety of different apps that can be used as plugins. However, they're just not called plugins on the Wix app market. They're called apps. So there's a variety of bigger, larger Wix apps like you might be familiar with, Wix Paid Plan, Wix Members, but you also have apps like Rollover FX. And funny enough, Pete Griffin, if you're watching, he is actually the one to own Rollover FX, and that's a plugin app that allows you to do animations on your Wix site. So there's a variety of different plugins available on the platform. Again, they're just known as apps. No, actually, I don't know, but Peter Griffin is one of the Wix partners, and
Does he have a son named Stewie?
well, the thing is he's actually a really funny guy too. When he first got up there,
Family guy?
he is a family guy, and he's from Europe. Yeah, he's a really, really funny guy actually.
He's not from Florida.
No. He spoke at WixCon though. Which, by the way, WixCon has officially been moved.
Two.
Looks like the end of the year they're looking at.
Did they give a location yet?
Well, it was supposed to be in Miami from the start.
Oh, okay, they're going back to Miami, huh?
Yep. So I don't know if we'll, I don't know when in the end of the year. I guess we'll find out. Hey, look who joined.
Oh,
Hello, Abigail.
Abigail. And
Abby's
Tyler?
here. I don't know,
Is
Tyler.
Tyler with you?
We got people from near and far. Once again, guys, your opportunity, go ahead, use that chat box to ask some questions, fire away. I've got the family here with me. We got Big Man sitting in the background over there. He's behind the camera. Looks like Pitbull.
Pitball.
Pitbull. So Conrad asks, do you have to use a different domain for each Wix site created? Yes, you do. So you can't have the same domain name going to multiple different websites. However, you can have multiple different domain names going to one website. So that's kind of the difference there. So if you wanted to have subdomain names linking up to one main website with one main domain name, you can totally do that. But you can't have multiple websites linked to one domain. So that's how that works in Wix. Looks like Tyler's not there. No.
Who else is on? Who else is checking it?
I don't know. Again, everyone.
I'd like to hear about what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, I know. How?
Everybody staying safe. What's happening?
Yeah. What is that? That's a good question. What is everybody doing in terms of quarantine, staying safe? How's it going for you? What are you doing with your days in quarantine? And in addition to that, I'll go ahead and ask this question as far as best chatbot for Wix. Yeah, I know other countries might not be. I'm not sure how that's working. Best chatbot for Wix. Wix has their own chatbot that's effective. However, if you want something more advanced, because Wix's chatbot is still at the base level, it's brand new. There's Intercom. That's a chatbot that I would personally recommend that I really like. It's extremely effective. Could be a very lucrative tool. Oh, we got Costa Rica here. That's pretty cool. Costa Rica now. Do you know when the official release date for Editor X is? I'm currently on beta. No, I do not know the official release date for Editor X. We haven't been notified of that yet. However, what I can tell you is that Wix isn't going to release Editor X until they feel like they've received enough beta feedback. So if you are on the beta and you are enjoying it, or you have feedback, constructive criticism, provide it to Wix so that way they can go ahead and make the necessary updates and changes. Oh, well, that's fair. We got people passing their quarantine time learning the new editor, Editor X. That is a good use of time. That's a very good use of time. In fact, it's going to be extremely lucrative too. Staying inside, Oslo has shut down completely. Basically a ghost town at the moment.
Oslo,
Most of
where?
Europe is, I think, right?
Oslo,
Norway. But Spain is, and Italy is, obviously Italy and Spain, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of Europe is in general.
I just can't see the B&B.
or Italy.
We had up until 2 days ago.
Yeah, you might as well though.
Yeah, I don't see us going to Italy in September. It's not our time.
I suppose not. This year has been an interesting year. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. Everything is shut down, but I think we all have to play our part to slow spread of the virus, not stop it, unfortunately. And just play your social responsibility, stay inside, unless of course you got to go to the grocery store, pharmacy, doctor, whatever that may be, and just stay healthy. We hosted a group workout. You were on the group workout.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah. We did a hit training. Which was fun. Again, to everyone out there, that chat box is open to for questions. It could be Wix related, it could be life related, quarantine related, family related, whatever you want to ask. It's a happy hour. So what do you talk about at happy hour?
Business related.
Yeah, business related. You can talk about anything. That's interesting to see though. We've hit literally all over the map. Costa Rica, Norway, Tunisia. I don't know why I'm slipping on that. There's a whole bunch. And then we've got Gilbert. Maryland. I can't forget Maryland. Shout out to Maryland too. We're okay. It's completely informal. is just kind of go with the wind. Can't get the header to show on the phone. Looks great on the computer, but doesn't show on Vogue Preview. So yeah, I can understand your frustration. Obviously, you have to move to the mobile editor. Make sure it's showing up there. An editor X will actually solve that as well. So that's a plus. Responsiveness is now at Wix. Any code snippets or things you can add to your Wix store to sell more, and that focuses on upsells toward visitors? Well, so that's actually a really good question. Now, as far as the code snippets portion of that, are you speaking to your website directly and selling code snippets on your website? Or are you speaking of my website, or just on Wix in general? And then as far as focusing on selling, upselling visitors, I think it also depends on what you're trying to sell. So if you've got different packages, plans, courses, you can do something like selling a additional course or training with your course at checkout to hit the moment that they're already investing something with you. So doing something along those lines, or even depending on what you're offering, you could even offer to schedule a call at checkout with you if you want to sell into something bigger, a consulting package, anything of that nature. Okay, I just wanted to say also, you have an awesome YouTube channel. I support you all the way. Great tips you provided on Wix. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to see that the content helps out. So I'd love to hear that. It's helpful to have the laptop and be able to see the screen.
Have you not been able to do that before?
Well, when Justin and I did our Q&A, which, by the way, I gotta shout this out there. Baby Just, for those of you that watched our live interview on Tuesday, he's got a new release, Outlandish, going live at 8 p.m. everywhere, all streaming platforms tonight. So if you'd like to check out a brand new song by Baby Just, like we promised on the live stream, it comes out tonight, 8 p.m. everywhere, all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok. They're all out there, so you have the opportunity to check that out. To answer your question about that, yeah, when we had our live stream going, since it was computer-based, not the phone-based, it was on the webcam, and so we were answering questions from the YouTube live dashboard. So that's how we were able to get questions. Alright, so question, how can I go about increasing SEO without having to hire a Wix consultant? So as far as increasing SEO, number one, it's important to know that SEO is a long-term strategy. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, not even in a week, sometimes not even a month, sometimes not even in 2 months. It can take 3 to 6 to 12 to 18 months to really start seeing some updates in SEO. The biggest thing I can tell you to do, post quality content on Google, make sure that your pages are optimized for Google. The metadata has all the titles, descriptions, and make sure that it's keyword planned. So, you're using specific keywords on Google to help index your pages for certain search results. That's what I would tell you. As far as hiring a Wix consultant, yes, you could do some of that yourself. However, there are some technical aspects of SEO that I would seriously consider reaching out to a consultant for, just because it's extremely helpful, and definitely turn to the experts on this subject matter. That would be my recommendation. So we got some more questions here. Basically, I run a website that sells smart home products. I've included a related product section with a code and database. Often there are products in the same product category that combine well. Yeah, that's another great way to do it. Recommended products, related products, they can all couple with each other. So when people are going to check out, you can display those related products, just like Amazon does. I mean, how many times have you gone to Amazon, clicked onto a product you're looking to purchase, and you scroll down to check out the reviews and stuff like that. But before you get to the reviews, there's always a related products or products that are typically purchased with this product, and you'll just see a lineup of a bunch of different products. And a lot of times what you'll end up doing is you'll say, oh, maybe I need this with that. And so Amazon is a king when it comes to upselling. So that's what I would recommend, and I like your idea there, having the related products.
Who else is on? Any other countries heard from?
I don't know. Remember to write your country in here if you're brand new to listening to this live stream. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Is it possible to add a related product section in the cart on your Wix site? So yes, there is some development required in that. Wix is opening up the API to their shopping cart still. I know I'm getting technical, but when that officially opens is when you have complete control over that cart. You already have control over the majority of the checkout experience, but it's specifically the cart that they have to open the API for to enable complete customization over it. We've got a constant circuit here of people coming in and out.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got a variety of people. A lot of Wix questions. Again, open to any type of questions. Business, life, family, quarantine, Wix, whatever you'd like. We're here to answer. I've got my mom here, my girlfriend here, dad in the back.
What's up?
There he is. Pitbull back there. And then Justin, baby Just is somewhere.
Baby Just will show his face.
Baby
when
Just will
Baby
show
Just
his face.
is getting hungry.
Yeah.
He's looking for somebody to make him food.
I think Baby Just is excited for his release tonight.
Huh? Baby Just is releasing tonight, huh?
Yeah. You heard it. What did you think?
Yeah,
of
I
it?
heard his beats the
I
other
liked
day.
it. I definitely liked it.
Outlandish. Looks like we got Graham trying to tune in. I think she had a question for you though.
For me?
In that text, yeah. I think she's a little confused on
I
using.
know I could see you and hear you, but don't know how to join in the chat.
It's either if she's on her mobile device, it's under and it says live chat, or if she's on a laptop or computer, it's over on the right and it says live chat. There's a whole chat feed happening that you can type questions in.
We've got New Zealand.
We got New Zealand. Oh, there we go. Wow, we are literally all over the map. We have Australia and we have New Zealand. Hi, I'm from New Zealand. Can you create a video for us on how to use Zoom to create a course with slides and video presentation recorded and created on our Wix site? Yeah, I think I'll throw that together for you. I think I can do that. I can put that video together. I would expect something like early next week to have a video like that. I was also going to make one about how to live stream on Wix using Wix video as well. So that's an option as well. I think that would likely be helpful, especially during the current biggest virtual digital age I think we've really seen, because we've had to.
Isn't it amazing that the internet hasn't crashed yet with everybody on it?
We kind of
Well-
went a little crazy earlier today.
Well, actually, in Europe it was.
Mhm.
There was a lot of parts of Europe that the internet was crashing. Like Netflix was asked to remove HD versions of video in Europe to, slow down the amount of consumption and usage.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, it might just be because we're more widespread. Europe is so condensed.
I mean, we had, 20 people on for 7 or 8 hours today, and I don't think we crashed once.
No, we just lost you a little bit. Like you froze up a little bit at one point.
Yeah, what happened with that?
I think you might have been I think you and Justin might have been on or watching a movie or something.
No,
No, Justin was on his phone.
I was on mine
LTE.
too. I wasn't on.
And I was at 3:30 our time, so
Yeah.
about 3:30 our time, about 3:15 our time, I went dead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had to turn off my video.
Yeah, I mean, you still audio, but
Got it.
actually my phone disabled too. For whatever reason, it's just disabled.
We got another question here. Do you think Wix will open up their payment gateway, or eventually that they will add more payment methods? Sometimes PayPal and Stripe isn't just enough. So to answer that question, Wix payments actually is out now. So Wix Payments did open up their own payment gateway. So it's not Stripe, it's not PayPal, it's through Wix. So if you're selling on Wix, you can use Wix Payments, and it provides you a whole dashboard and everything like that. It's new, so I'm sure there's always going to be little kinks here or there that'll probably come up with a new platform. But it is kind of cool because you can choose how often you get paid out, which, I mean, obviously you already have the ability to do on most of those other payment processing platforms, but for Wix to move to the whole, paid payment processor route, it makes it a lot easier for people that are selling on Wix that don't want to use PayPal or Stripe. Although when you compare transaction fees and stuff like that, it's the exact same. I mean, PayPal, Stripe, and Wix payments are all within that 2.5 to 2.9% range. So that is an option.
Can you set up subscriptions or payment plans?
You said in Wix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe didn't hear my question.
Can you set up subscriptions?
So we got a question from Pitbull in the back, and that is, can you set up subscription plans and payment plans in Wix? And the answer to that is yes, using the Wix Paid Plans app. And that's how you can manage that. You can also choose user roles, user permissions. All of that can be managed from back-end on Wix. Looks like Ty's on too.
So the subscription is automated?
The subscription is automated, and it depends on the plan that the user obviously moves forward. Yeah.
How
What's
about
up, Ty?
Is that a single use, or can you automate the payment plan too, or does it have to be subscription?
So for Wix paid plans, you have to use subscription. However, there is Wix invoices as well that allow you to invoice on frequency. Yep. We got another question. Was thinking about maybe something like Afterpay, if you're familiar with that payment method. I'm not personally really familiar with Afterpay. To my knowledge, it's not integrated into Wix payment plans currently. I'm not sure they will, or if they will. My suggestion would be to reach out to support and make it a feature request. And Wix actually, the good news with Wix is they actually do value those feature requests. So they will make feature requests that get the most upvotes in the community the highest and best priority, and they'll get those completed first, which is pretty nice. So if you ever got something you want to have Wix build out, make it a feature request. Looks like Ty's on. Justin needs to get out of here. Ty's on.
Well,
We got people popping in left and right.
everybody's coming in for a drink, stopping by for a drink?
Yep, stopping by, hopping out, stopping by, hopping out.
Another food.
We'll find out, I guess.
Either on the right hand side of the screen or left, like a computer on the bottom of the screen or left.
Still haven't seen a question from her, but I wonder if she's got to get a Google account probably. I don't know if she's signed in. Yeah. So I guess we'll find out. What is for everyone else that just entered, what is everybody doing to keep fun, stay safe during quarantine? What are you guys doing? We'll flip it back. I'll ask you some questions. Give you guys an opportunity to write in the chat. Self-employed, 31 years, nothing changed. I like it. There you go. Yeah, what industry are you in? Kip, it looks like Kip, right? Kip, what industry are you in? That's obviously a good thing. I'll give Kip an opportunity to write in the chat. I'm actually curious.
Where's Kip calling from?
I'm stoked about owning more businesses. That's good. Always something to be stoked about. Kip, where are you tuning in from, and what industry do you currently own your business in? Kip thinks like us. Inefficient markets are awesome.
Is he selling masks?
I'm curious. Oh, okay.
And respirators?
Well, he's coming in from Portland. He's in real estate and tech education. I could see the tech education part of that blowing up at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
The real estate part. How are you handling everything with real estate? Yeah, Kip, how are you handling everything with real estate?
Jesus is here.
Baby just has arrived.
Maybe just has arrived. He's probably gonna need to sit.
Jesus is in the building.
Oh, he's going back there. Yep. I fix other businesses and make money from that. Kip, that's a good way to do it. Let's see, did you get in it, Justin? I don't think you got in it.
Can I get in it?
Yeah, go ahead and make your appearance.
Oh, yeah,
Tell
you got
every-
it.
tell
Everybody when
what
your
you're
song
doing
is
tonight.
dropping.
What?
What song are you dropping
Oh,
tonight?
Outlandish. Tonight, 8 o'clock, your time zone.
There we go.
Time zone.
Your time zone, any time zone.
Oh, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's
It's
just
already
8
happened on the East Coast.
8 o'clock.
It's already dropped on the East Coast.
What's 8 o'clock universal?
Well, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock here, 8 o'clock
It's-
back
yeah,
east,
that's
8
how-
o'clock. Okay.
Looks like Carlos is on too. Well, a morning walk on the beach. I think that's a good way to start the morning during quarantine. Here in Costa Rica, come back, work with clients on Wix. Not really much more to do. Experiment with dinner. Other than that, and learning new dishes. Awesome. And then other than that, the monkeys give me a hard time every morning.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, you know what, Carlos?
Carlos, does it suck being in paradise?
Ask Carlos. Go ahead. You're on
Carlos, does it suck being in paradise? It's not a bad place to be quarantined, that's for sure, right?
Nope. And then we got Kip. Real estate is great. Counter the market.
Inventory is the highest it's been.
Well, I mean, I guess it varying market to market. Although up in I'm guessing Portland, Oregon. I guess it could be what, Maine?
Portland, Oregon, or Portland,
Are you?
Maine.
Are
Oh,
you
he
Port-
said Portland.
Portland? Yeah. Kip, are you Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine? Let's see what Carlos has to say to you. We'll find out.
Getting chased by a monkey.
Hey, if I'm getting chased by a monkey, but I'm on the beach, I'm okay with that. Well, he's saying there's only one Portland, and I figured it
Did you
was going
make
to be
that
Portland,
outbreak
Oregon.
with this?
So,
Okay.
all right, so Portland, Oregon. All right, real estate market is going good for Portland, Oregon at the moment.
Carlos says it does not suck being in paradise.
I wouldn't think it.
I figured that, Carlos. And Kip, you're all good. Paradise. Yeah, but if I'm on the beach right now, I'd say it's a good place.
Ask them
We
if
live
you
in
sip-
paradise.
Yeah,
you
we
sip
do.
it, what do they drink down there? Pina coladas?
Yeah, Carlos, what are you
They drink
drinking
rum.
in our happy hour, if anything? If anything. Is it the typical beach drink, the daiquiri or pina colada?
Mai Tai, I got one.
All right. Oh, okay. This took an interesting turn of events.
What?
I'm actually from Florida. I just got stuck over here in Costa Rica waiting for this quarantine to lift.
Again, it wouldn't
Yeah.
suck. It wouldn't suck to be quarantined in paradise.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, so Carlos, did you intentionally stay in Costa Rica, and maybe just say you got stuck, or did you actually really get stuck in Costa Rica and weren't allowed to back over? I don't actually know. I mean, was there any travel ban or
There is
just?
travel ban. Yeah, you can't get back to the States now.
Well, I didn't know if it was to Costa Rica.
Oh, it's all well, look at all this that's going on with the cruise ships.
He's
Yeah.
drinking around
Trying to
the
go into Fort Lauderdale. Now they only let the Floridians off. That's it. That whole
Well, he would
debacle.
pass. Carlos would pass.
Yeah,
for
you
that.
could have got on that cruise ship, the Holland cruise ship.
I'm not sure I would get on a cruise ship right now.
No, not considering
Yeah.
all the
Honestly,
people.
I don't really blame him. A plane too. So yeah.
Great time to take a cruise. Super cheap.
Oh, they're stuck in sea.
Yeah,
Nobody will
great
bring
time
them
to take a
port.
cruise until you're in the middle of the ocean and you can't come back.
Yeah, you're stuck at port and people are dying on the ship. It's like a ghost ship now. Not good.
People are dying on the ship.
They won't let them in port.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
so
wanted to bring a Holland cruise liner into Fort Lauderdale, and they said, we'll allow the Floridians, after 48 hours, they finally said, we'll allow the Floridians in, that's it. I don't know where the rest are going. Hasn't been determined.
and so some of them are sick.
A lot of them are sick. They won't let them dock.
Right. Carlos, I like the drink of choice. You got a rum and coke. There you go.
Oh, okay,
Rum
that
and
makes
Coke.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rum and coke, and I'm actually a web developer, programmer. I have clients here, so technically I'm working with some clients over here as well. Got it.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Well, I'd say it's a good place to have clients, a good place to visit them.
Don't get hit in the head with a coconut.
Yeah, avoid the coconuts out there.
And the monkeys.
And the monkeys. Yeah, how does that work? You know, do monkeys really come out and chase people and stuff?
Monkeys, they're like pigeons.
Oh, I don't like birds.
They're not a
Would you
bird.
like a
I mean,
monkey
they
coming
like.
after you? You would like a
I
monkey
actually don't
coming
think I would mind a monkey coming after me.
Well, you had to what just happened to me right not too long ago? The bird hit the
Yeah, I
window
heard it.
right when I was walking that way.
I feel like a monkey coming after you would actually be kind of cool. Like, cause what the
Did you
monkeys?
see Outbreak?
Yeah, but I mean, without getting too technical here, the real outbreak that just occurred came from a bat. So they said, yeah, really. So they say.
We'll see you later, Kip.
Bye, Cat.
Dinner time for Kip.
Did he get his question?
Bye, Kip. Yeah, he did.
You be safe as well.
Yes,
Yeah, be
be safe,
safe.
Kip. Be safe.
Good luck in real estate.
Yeah, seriously.
No, Kip wasn't in real estate.
Yes, he was. He was.
Portland.
Portland was Kip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Portland was
Carlos
Kip.
is in
Oh, Carlos.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, Carlos is a web developer in Costa Rica. Again, to everybody watching right now, we've got that chat open for you guys, just like Kip and Carlos. Go ahead and ask questions, whatever that may be. We're here to have conversation. Enjoy the nice weather minus the wind, and de-stress during quarantine. Actually, weeks. Yeah, actually weeks. So.
Well, I just heard something last night that Vice President Pence said, well, we should be ahead of this curve by Memorial.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so-
goodness.
We're taking. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see increments of 15 to 30 at a time. I don't think everybody's going to.
They're trying not to throw everybody into one level of shock.
Yeah, they got to mitigate it somehow. So,
You mean the panic from
yeah,
the people that are inside their four walls?
right.
6 million new jobless.
Yeah, 6.6.
Million new unemployed.
6.6 million new unemployment claims this week. It doubled.
So-
6.6 new.
Yes, it doubled
So
from
now
last
we're at,
week.
like-
We're at 10.3% unemployment. 10.3% unemployment, which is frightening. Being, and I did a
Well,
lot of
what's
research.
normal?
Which means we have 35 million people unemployed in the U.S.
Well, yeah, you add the current rate.
I
plus
don't know macro. Is it division by total population or total
by
workforce?
total labor force.
Labor force. So what's our total labor force?
I
150
I
million.
looked that number up, but interestingly enough, we have now matched or just partially exceeded what the total unemployment was from the 2008-2009 crash that took 2 years to get there, and we did it in 2 weeks.
Maybe that's a good thing though. It's
Let's
getting
rip
there
the
fast
Band-Aid
and get it
off.
over fast.
Well, yeah,
Rip the Band-Aid off. But from what everybody in your channel is trying to accomplish right now,
Right.
this is a great time to learn a new business, build their website, ramp up, implement. I mean, be ready to go.
yeah.
That economy takes back off, they're already ahead of the curve.
You're right. You guys heard it, ECIB. This is a great time. Oh, looks like Rose is on. Rose is the one that had the killer questions in Justin's interview.
Okay, let's hear
Yeah,
it,
we
Rose.
might as well text Justin too. Let him know.
Oh, yeah, Rose is here.
Yeah. How's it going, Rose? I know you had some amazing questions. Justin was talking about them all day after that live interview. He said that they were really phenomenal questions, really got him thinking. And I would agree with him. They were really, really great questions. The Strauch, she says hi, Strauch family. So
Hi, Rose.
they can't see you back there
What's
We'll
up,
always-
Rose?
Why won't we always remember her name?
because your mother and my grandmother's name is Rose. Rosemary. But
Yeah. Is she Rosemary or Rosemary or just Rose?
go ahead and ask.
Rose?
Yeah.
How do we know it's even Rose?
Because on my initial Q&A last week, my first quarantine Q&A, she said it was Rose.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good. Not old enough to drink yet, but I'll get tipsy on some tea.
Is that Rose?
Yeah. Why is Wix not replying to emails? Well, I don't personally know. I can say it probably depends on when you sent the email. And I can also tell you that the influx of emails at the moment is pretty severe with every business. So I would say just go ahead and be patient on that. They will get back to you.
What is
Just
the
roll.
question? Is this something you can answer?
It is not, because it sounds like directly to Wix he's emailing. So I unfortunately I don't have any control over
Are
it.
they in any form of, are they foreign, like how, are
Yeah,
they
I'm pretty
essential
sure there's.
personnel only?
I'm pretty sure Wix's staff is working from home, and they're working on a lot of initiatives to kind of help, mitigate the partners program and some of the. One of the things I will say that Wix did is they were set to increase their premium hosting plans this month. I think it was almost not a 20%, it might have been a 20% increase in hosting costs. They decided to cancel that, and they told everybody that they're just going to go ahead and keep costs the same for the moment. Sounds like there's a fire truck in here. Yeah. So she said just Rose, by the way.
Okay,
Just
Rose.
Rose. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions? I know Rose can usually stir up some pretty good questions, thought-invoking questions.
Good for you, Rose.
Yeah, they're really good. Like, really, the questions that she was asking judges, they were all very music-related, and it required some thought. You really had to think about it.
Rose, are you in the music industry? Oh.
Yeah, the camera.
Rose, are you in the music industry?
We'll see what Rose has to say about that. You let Justin know?
Look at the dot.
Yeah, look at the dot. Look at the dot. Just the
That's
camera.
what they always do.
Yeah.
Look at the dot. Look at the dot.
Originally, I did not want to go vertical format for this, but for some reason, YouTube Live gets a little funky sometimes.
Please call it what it is. Why do people say it's portrait? It's portrait or landscape?
Yeah, portrait or landscape. My apologies. We got Brian on. Brian, where are you tuning in from, Brian? And we've got the question, what we drinking? Margarita.
What are you buying?
Vodka.
We got vodka
What
in
are
the
you
back.
buying, Brian?
We got red wine here. What about you, Brian? What are you drinking, Brian? It's a virtual happy hour. Cheers.
That's Brian from Dunmore.
Maybe it's Brian from up the street.
Well, I'm not going to knock anything at this point. We had Walter from Scranton. You had an attorney from Dunmore, and he's got Gentleman Jack.
Ooh, little gentleman Jack.
Oh, we might see Pitbull here in front of the camera now. we hear Gentleman's Jack, and
So
You got excited.
it's time to pull out bourbon, Pitbull.
yeah, there's a big smile on his face as he's back there with the cigar.
It's like he's gauging the time to see what time it's bourbon hour.
Brian, where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? I'm happy you're here joining us. Give Brian an opportunity. North Dallas. Okay. All right.
Nice.
I like it. We got North Dallas. We're all over the map now.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got Portland, Oregon. We got Norway. Looks like Carlos has another question here. Got a question. What are your thoughts on the new platform Editor X? It seems like it's better, but a little more complex on using it. Yeah, so that's a good analysis. It is a lot. It's going to make everybody's life a lot better because Wix is now going to be completely responsive. You're not going to have to go build necessarily per se a complete new mobile website. It's just going to do it through Editor X. As far as the complexity, yeah, there are a lot more moving parts to Editor X. It's a different editor. It's a new style. So it's going to be an adjustment. I promise that I'll have a full series on it when Wix goes public with Editor X. That will hopefully walk you through step by step on how to use Editor X. But there's a lot of moving parts with it, for sure.
What's something somebody has not asked you about Wix that you have been wanting to share? You're just waiting for them to drop the question.
Ooh, wow. About Wix?
Or what else has Wix got in the pipeline?
Yeah, what's the pipeline divulge without divulging too much?
A lot. Wix has a lot in the pipeline. What I will say is, being a Wix partner, you get access to a lot of early beta, so you get to see what's coming out. What I can say is that the entire editor experience as a whole is going to have an entire facelift. Things are going to become much more productive. It's going to be a lot easier to use elements between multiple sites. I'll give a little hint with that. That's all I'm going to say, though. A lot more video features coming up. A lot of collaboration tools happening. There's a lot happening behind the scenes in Wix that should make all Wix users really, really excited. And I promise some of them you'll hear about sooner than others. But they've been in beta for just a little bit now, and I'm excited for you to see them. I'm excited to make videos on them too.
What systems, for lack of a better term, for video and stuff, does Wix integrate with seamlessly?
Well, so Wix has a native app called Wix Video, and so that's a system that you can both live stream from and put videos on, and you can even charge per video or charge a subscription, not a prescription, subscription for Wix Video to access a certain series, to access a certain set of videos. So yeah, that would be my answer to that.
So who is Wix's biggest competition? And how does Wix differ and outrun the competition in the market?
Yeah.
Should I not be asking you these questions?
I mean, they're good questions. Wix's biggest competition: Squarespace, WordPress, Shopify. I would say those are the big three.
But aren't they integrated now with Shopify?
So a lot of systems kind of work interchangeably with each other. Like, they'll have slight integrations. And no, Shopify is its own system. You can integrate pieces of Shopify into Wix, but it's a completely separate platform. What I can tell you is Wix is different because it gives you complete design and development freedom, and it's a platform that's easy to use to a user as well. And they just have the most advanced tools compared to any other web development platform. They're just the most advanced. I mean, it's that simple. It's user friendly, so it's not like you have to. Of course, I always recommend looking into it, but not like you have to have a developer for everything you do. There's stuff that can be done on your own part using your own two hands. It's not WordPress in the sense that it's clunky, it's kind of old, it's difficult to maneuver, it's time consuming. You can talk to many developers that have used both custom solutions, WordPress solutions, and Wix, and they will all tell you that your workflow is increased substantially on Wix. You can take what would have been a 12-month project and turn it into 2 months.
Because of its
ease of use, and the tools have already, some of the code development ability is already built in. It doesn't have to be custom from scratch.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're already building off of a predetermined platform to take some of the steps out of the complete design.
Right. So it's not like you're sitting in your bedroom writing a million lines of code to make a website. No, you've got a whole.
Because all I know is you click a button.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this. I don't even know if I'm making sense asking these questions.
No, you're doing totally fine. It looks like Rose had a question too. I'm studying to get my MBA right now. Skipped a couple of grades, but I'm interested in the music industry, but more of the business side of the music industry. Justin! Then we've got Brian, foresee any future code export capability in the pipeline. Yeah, I definitely think that's a potential for Wix, but I think it depends on, number one, what you're speaking of in terms of exporting of code, because if you mean source files like HTML, CSS, I couldn't tell you if Wix has any plans of doing that. I really don't know. But if you're talking about, Corvid, not to get confused with COVID, Corvid by Wix.
Yeah, talk about a bad name
Well,
at a bad time.
you got Corona, the Corona beer that got slammed, and then you've got Corvid by Wix that people are getting confused about. Just call it Wix code, okay? That makes it easier. But yeah, I think there's absolutely potential there. Then we got Rose. I think this is a question to both of us. What fields are you guys studying, working in? Go ahead, I'll let you go first.
Sport management and marketing.
And mine is entrepreneurship. So we finish up in December of this year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She's asking.
Oh, my plans after graduation. Well, moving to somewhere else. Still working on what that is, but continuing to build Wix Training Academy, continuing to build content creation, and keep putting content out there. Potentially dabbling into real estate opportunities as well. But that's my plan, to just continue expanding. That's the goal. Any way you can throw the sunshade down? Sure. Thank you. Carlos, we got Carlos here. Here's a question. You mentioned collaboration. Will there be collaboration in the editor at the same time with other users? Yes, that is something that they are working on, thankfully. Well, yeah, so right now how it works in the Wix editor, thank you, where there's absolutely kind of a flaw is if there's multiple people in the editor, only one saving the other person. Right.
Excel is one.
Exactly. So yes, they are making that a feature. They're working toward it, I should say. And are they going to implement collaboration? Yes. So yes, Carlos, that is the plan. To my knowledge, from what I know, again, I can't tell you a timeline on when, but I'm very familiar with the fact that that's something they're working on. Rose. Oh wow. Rose is hit with the hard questions.
Oh boy.
To all. To all.
Okay, I'm on this one.
Okay.
Okay, you need to pay
To all.
attention.
What is, wow, this might be a tough one. What is one mistake you've made in life that you wish you could go back and correct? Rose, you got the entire family thinking here. I'm gonna need 1 second to actually think about that. You're welcome, Carlos.
I think it would be, for me, it would be more of like trusting myself earlier on in life. Just believing, that I had the capability to do more than I actually maybe gave myself credit for doing. And I think I would have, potentially made some different career path decisions. And I think that would be it. I would be trusting myself much earlier on in life than I actually did.
I think mine would be trying new things to really kind of find a passion. I'm still working through that to kind of find, what I'm really passionate about. But I think, in order to find that passion, you have to try new things. And I think I would have just done more, like, throughout high school to really find what that was.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, one mistake. I can give you both a business mistake, personal mistake. I mean, personal mistake would, be just similar to hers. Certain fears that I have, overcoming them better. That would be, both future and past, and letting fear get in the way of certain decisions. So making that move, and then 2, business mistakes. I definitely think that. Oh, this is a good one. He can be in on this too. Rose asked a question to all of us, and it was, what is one mistake you've made in your life that you wish you could go back and correct? By the way, you're not in frame.
I know, but there's 2, 4, 1. That's all right. So, well, first of all, I don't want to correct any of my mistakes because that's how I learn from them. I don't want to go back and have them not happen because they're the best. They've been the best learning tools ever. But I will tell you that there are mistakes I never want to make again. And the number one mistake as a business owner I never want to make again is to have my business weighed down through debt. So the last few companies I've built have been debt-free. So as I'm building a company, I want to do it in a debt-free manner. Having lived through a company during a recession with debt, it was a very stressful time, and I'd like to never repeat that again.
Very good one. Very, very good one. And Mom, it looks like Rose has got a question directly to you. Mom, can you share an important life lesson that you've learned over time? How do you find getting older has influenced your outlook on life? So we'll start with question one.
Well, again, coming back to what I said, trusting myself earlier on, I've learned that I am a very intuitive person, and I think that you need to trust your gut. And there were times I didn't, and I went against my gut, and it was generally the wrong decision. So, I mean, that kind of leads to, I think you need to determine who you are. You need to become very aware of who you are.
Know thyself.
Know thyself, and be okay with thyself. And remember, what other people think of you is none of your damn business, and always keep that in your brain. You need to live for you and trust in your decisions that you're making, and you need to do it. Not that I'm saying not be kind and be hurtful, but you need to respect your own self-worth and your self-decision.
Absolutely. That's really good. And would you say that kind of goes into the second part of that question?
Which is?
How do you find getting older has influenced your outlook on life?
Well, you just become more confident in that, right? The older you get, the more you know thyself, the more you trust thyself, the more confident you become, the less you're worried about what others think or believe, and you kind of walk much more definitively in your decisions.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great questions, Rose. Those are really, really great questions. Would you agree?
I agree, Rose. You can call me Ma anytime.
Really, really good questions. If you guys want to ask questions as well, feel free to in the chat. Again, we're here. We're having a good time. We're answering them. I got Dad over there, Mom right here, girlfriend right here, and then Baby Just has got music coming out tonight, but he's
Taking a nap, preparing for the.
No, he's working on beats.
oh, is it? There you go. He's working on
In
beats.
case he needs an encore production.
Yep,
no.
he's working on beats. He recorded something last night too, which was really, really good.
Can I get anybody anything?
I'm good.
You need water?
No, I'm good. Yeah. So Justin's in there. Baby Just is working on beats, working to continue putting wonderful music out to the world, people just like yourselves.
Come on, give up some good questions here.
Talk to Rose. Rose has got like a whole bunch.
I want to see him sweat. I want to see him sweat.
Yeah, guys, go ahead. You guys can ask me anything. Like she said, you throw in some tough questions. I'm here to answer. There's no wrong questions here. This is just a good time de-stressing. Do you use any other platforms to create websites for folks? No, I do not. I have in the past though, meaning when I first started my journey of looking for different web development platforms to use, I used just about every single one you can imagine. However, I landed on Wix. I thought Wix had the most creative freedom. I thought Wix was a company that I could create training content for and grow with, and it has proven to be just that and more. So yes, that's what I use to build websites on. We need coupon codes for membership signups. So Auntie Tay, number one, Auntie Tay, where are you tuning in from? And number two, coupon codes for membership signups. Do you mind expanding on that? Give Auntie Tay an opportunity, and I'll give everyone else out there watching right now an opportunity to go ahead and ask some questions in the chat. Sacramento. Excuse me. Sacramento, and we'll find out what the coupon codes are for. Those were really good questions.
They were.
I like the tough questions. They're fun to answer. It makes you think. We have the largest membership through Wix. It would be nice to be able to discount our memberships.
She wants some.
You take that one?
Discount codes for.
They want to be able to offer shopping
Yeah. So, Auntie, are you a web developer that builds for people, and do you currently participate in the Wix Partners program? I'll give you an opportunity to go ahead and write in the chat. Because if so, there is an opportunity available to you, but I need to gauge where the process is at. No, I have a membership with 3,000 members. So, okay. So do you have members on your site and you want to give people discount codes for membership to your website? Is that how I am understanding this?
Or is it discount codes to members?
Or is it discount codes for premium hosting plans on Wix to your members? I think Brian is asking that to Andy Tanks. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. That's how I understood that. We'll see what we have here. I'll give Andy Tanks an opportunity to go ahead and answer that. Yes, coupons for people to get a discount to my membership. And yes, I was right on Brian. Yeah, so Wix Pay Plans, if that's the app you're using to offer membership on your Wix site, at the moment they're working on creating coupon codes available for that, just like offering gift cards in Wix stores. Those are things that Wix is currently working on in the pipeline, but to my knowledge have not been released yet.
I would ask, why are we offering discounts?
So we raised an interesting question over there. We're going to let the plane fly by first. So yes, Auntie Tay, what is driving you to be interested to offer coupon codes for members?
Why do you want discount membership?
Why would you like to discount memberships? Awesome. We want people to be able to track when people refer members and pay commission.
That's her answer.
Well, I think she was saying that to the previous when I announced that they're working on a coupon code integration. We need a way to track who sends them to our membership. So referral.
You guys have a referral?
An affiliate program. At the moment, no. Wix is working on that. You can use a third-party affiliate program. I'd have to send you some third-party affiliate programs to use. Yeah, Auntie Tay, if you go to my channel, go to that About tab. Email's in there. If you send me an email, I'd be happy to work through finding some of that out for you as far as affiliate programs, the best third parties to use. I think most. Yeah. So we got a question for you. I don't know if you want to pop in and answer this one.
Here, I'm going to swap with him so he can answer some questions.
Okay. So sounds good. Dad, what kind of company do you own?
We have a consulting firm for small and solo law firms, so we're an advisory company for business owners of small and solo law firms.
There you go. So you got that, Rose, and then Brian, yep, affiliate type program on our own site, understood. And then this is girlfriend right here, Rose, and I think this is for you.
Did I say I was in sports marketing? So there's two different major programs. So one of my majors is marketing and then the other is sport management. You can definitely use them together and do something like sports marketing. But at the university we go to, they're two separate programs. It's okay, Russ.
No worries. Perfect. And now we've got Mathizen Music. Is it possible to add a product file from a distributor CSV or XML file that is a URL that updates product inventories as stock every day? Only solution I can find manually putting in a CSV. So, good question. Yes, you can do this, but there is a fairly significant amount of development required to do it. Because essentially what you have to do is you wouldn't host it in the Wix local database. You would have to host it in a cloud-based database, and you would need. Oh, wait a second.
I
Yeah, you are in
think
the
you
chat.
could get a tray of Rubella.
I think that's your dad. I think that's Papa Rich.
Oh, that's
I was so confused.
that's
Papa Richard, how's it going? But Matthias and music. I know, I'm seeing you in the chat, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, what is going on here? But to answer your question, yeah, so you need a cloud-based database, and you need a particular type of URL using third-party software to pull and use that link to update the inventory. Thank you very much. So yeah, that would be my answer there. And usually, if you are, for example, drop shipping, the stock or product inventory should always be updated. Yes, it will always be updated, but that is because it is the drop ship that's updating it. So Wix just recently integrated with Printful. Printful is an example of this. If you've got products through Printful, it will update from them. So they're the ones that update it. You don't have to be the one to manage that. Papa Rich, how can I get a tray of Rebellos? Better question is, how can I get a tray of Rebellos?
Who's that? Is that somebody by the name of Kelly Yule?
No,
It's Papa Richard.
Oh, Papa Richard.
Yeah, it's my dad.
Actually, you can. They ship. Kelly Yule just got 6 trays shipped here to Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can, Papa Rich.
There you go. You can get it shipped to you. Wait, what?
Yeah. It's a
Rebel?
flat fee. Yeah, yeah. They do.
Well, someone's going to have to... Yeah, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
He tells us, you may run, but you cannot hide.
We're here. Hey, I tell you what, we'll ship the Rebellos to Arizona. You come to Arizona and eat it with us.
There you go. Just maybe drive out right now. Don't get on a plane. Yeah. Brian says, are you planning on pursuing some type of business in tech? Good question. I think I'll always somehow have my hand in technology. I think at some capacity, especially since everything is just evolving at such a rapid pace with AI, virtual reality, AR, tech just integrating through every industry. So yeah, do I think I'll pursue opportunities in tech? I think I'll always pursue opportunities in tech. Now, we'll have to play it by ear, but yes, I think I will always have a hand in the tech industry.
Why, Brian, are you offering him a job?
Yeah, Brian.
The entrepreneur.
the entrepreneur, offering the entrepreneur a job. Lindsay's in, and Lindsay says, what's up?
Lindsay, my sister.
It looks like it because Joshua Michael.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you doing?
Hope you're
feeling?
How are
feeling
you
good,
doing?
Lindsay.
I'll give everybody an opportunity. There's a slight delay. So, yep. Brian, haha. Man, we're always looking for developers if you're into that kind of thing. I appreciate the offer, Brian. I like the solo route. I like the entrepreneurial solo route. And it looks like Lindsay is on the mend. Good to hear. Very, very good to hear. And then we've got Rolando Vega in, and he's from Monterey, Mexico. Monterey, Mexico.
Okay.
Welcome in, Rolando. Matthiasen, of course, my distributor for smart home products can give me a URL product feed where you can't find any solutions in Wix store. If there is not an obvious solution, what would be your price to do the work for me? You can go ahead and go send me an email go to that About tab on my channel, clicking that email, and send me some details about it, and we can explore what that would look like. I think I just got caught up with the chat here. Yep. Perfect. So again, you guys see the chat is lively. People have got questions. We've got Brian, we've got Joshua, we've got Rolando, we've got Matthiasen, we've got Papa Richard. We've got a bunch of people in the chat. Feel free to go ahead and use that chat to ask questions. I'm here with the family to help answer them, minus baby Just because he's honing in on that craft. And Matthiasen's perfect. I will look out for that.
Come on, give him a tough one,
Yeah, we
Rose.
got Rose. Yeah, there you go. You called it. Rose has got one.
Oh boy. Are we talking about from like a consumer behavior standpoint? Dynamics between psychology and marketing. So obviously psychology goes hand in hand with marketing. You've got to know the consumer's mind to know how to market to them in terms of human behavior. Go ahead.
So there's a great book called Influence by Robert Cialdini.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And in this book, Cialdini outlines human psychology and the trigger points of human psychology and how we as copywriters or marketers can use those trigger points to our advantage. So the
book is called it.
this book is called
I'm
Influence
gonna go ahead and write the chapter together.
by Robert Cialdini. Don't ask me how to spell Cialdini.
Chialdini.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say by Robert C.
Childin.
So the there's a couple of key stories. So there's a law called law of reciprocity. So one of the key stories that he pays attention to is, Rose, you may not be old enough to remember this, but at one point there was a religious organization that would travel around to the bus stations. They were called the Hare Krishners. I'm saying that probably not great, but anyway, they used to go out and raise money, and one of the ways that they would basically beg for money for their church. And somewhere along the line, the founder stumbled upon an idea that if he gave out a flower, in this case a daisy, people would be more apt to give him something in response. He accidentally stumbled upon the law of reciprocity, which states that if you give something to somebody for free, they feel obligated to give you something in return. The modern day version of this is, think about a free ebook or a free printed book, and in return, somebody will give you their contact information. Depending on the value of the thing you give away for free, will depend on the size of the amount of information they'll give you. If it's a very simple ebook, they may only give you their email address, whereas if you give them a printed mail book, they might give you their full address and their phone number. The Hare Krishners figured this out, that they would give out these daisies, and what would happen is once they gave out the daisies, their donations went through the roof. It got to the point where people they actually started getting banned from bus stations, because what was happening is they would start out with a bushel of daisies, giving them out and getting their $1 or $5 or quarter in return, and then somebody would naturally, after they gave the quarter or $1, it would wear off, and then they would drop the daisy like in the trash, and so the members of the religion would then go down to the trash, get all the daisies, come back out, and do it all over. Reciprocity and influence. The secondary one that Cialdini talks about is this law about making sure you're mimicking somebody's environment, right? So there's the story of the polecat in Turkey. You've heard this story?
But in light,
Would they like to hear this story?
Well, how about we ask them? Would you like to hear the next part of that story? And by the way, would you like to hear the next part of that story? And we've got a shout out that you look like Howie Mandel.
I'm in. I'll take it.
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel's
Let's
a
get
good-looking
it. By the
dude.
way, guys, let's get a thumbs up on this live stream.
Howie Mandel's a good-looking dude. Action kills fear. Howie Mandel, I'm in.
And I also just had to say, Carlos is on for drink and feeling good at quarantine at home in Costa Rica.
Nice.
So he's got to be brewing some good questions right now.
He asked how we're all doing. I'm doing good.
We're doing good.
Is that code for Michael? You need to get another drink in your hand.
I don't know. I think Carlos is trying to tell us something. We're behind. And they voted yes, they would like to hear the next part of the story. But before they do, Matthijsen had a question, and so did Rolando. And Rolando said, "How are you doing with the quarantine?" I'd say we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, this little bubble we live in called Gilbert, Arizona seems to be ignoring the quarantine to a certain extent. The golf courses are open because the state of Arizona has deemed them a necessary, essential business. So thank goodness for that.
That's to protect all the spouses in Gilbert, Arizona.
Yeah, that's so that the spouses don't get here for the purpose of golf. But yeah, we're doing okay. I mean, my clients are small locomotives across the country, and everybody, you know, is finding themselves quarantined and figuring out how to make their way through this process. And so it's not easy. We find ourselves in a unique time, but honestly, we're blessed to be alive. I'm so thankful that Lindsay is on the mend. My sister Lindsay, Michael's aunt, had the virus, and she's on the other side of it here, and doing well. But yeah, so it's scary times for sure. At the same time, we're doing okay.
Yep, and then Matthias, and yes, we're in Arizona, thinking about taking an exchange year over here from January 2021. Definitely recommend
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
It is, and we've had a lot of, I remember in high school we had a lot of foreign exchange students that came over and really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I recommend it. And then Matthias also has an interesting question here. Now this one could probably be a tangent, go on for a while too. How do you think the COVID-19 will affect the world economy, business opportunities in the world and in the U.S.? It seems like in some markets, it's not a lot of opportunities left. Why don't you go ahead and address that, and then tell them the next part of that story, because it looks like they're in.
You know, so a wise man once told me years ago that you know, if you work hard, you'll beat 50% of your competition. If you find something you believe in, you'll beat another 30% of your competition. And if you live right, you'll beat another 10% of your competition, which leaves about 10% that's a dogfight. And so what I found is when times are good and everything's going up, it's easy for everybody to win. You don't have to be very good. You maybe don't even have to work hard. So I think there's always going to be opportunity in business. Certainly there are going to be some markets that are decimated, but where the opportunities lie, it's going to require hard work. And so if you work hard, you find something you believe in, and you live right, I think you're going to beat 90% of your competition. You're going to be fine. Do I think that this COVID-19, I mean, it's already affecting, you know, we're 300% increase in unemployment rate over the last, you know, month. So just by that alone, we are going to realize some dramatic ramifications. I should be a professor. Yeah.
You are now being asked to be a professor.
By multiple people.
And then now they're questioning and saying, "Are you sure you're not a professor?"
No, I just stood in front of a television all day long teaching people. So I'm not. I just play one on TV, I guess. No. So the other side of the story. Here's the other side of the story. So it's pretty cool. Cialdini tells the story about the idea about getting on the right wavelength of your prospect growth. So psychology and marketing. So you want to be having the conversation with your prospect that's already going through their mind. So they want to see you as something else. And so he illustrates that fact by telling a story about the polecat and the turkey. So the polecat, it's like a bobcat or whatever, is a natural enemy to the turkey. And so scientists did research, and they took a polecat, and they took a stuffed polecat, and they put it out near a turkey's den, and or whatever they call it, where the turkeys are, and they wanted to see if the turkeys would attack it. And lo and behold, the turkeys attacked it, ripped it to shreds. The mother turkey came out and literally ripped the polecat to shreds. However, they were curious if they could use audible noises or audio noises. To be clear, the sound of a chick turkey, if they were to play that sound, how would the turkey react? And so they did it first with a stuffed turkey, and they found that the turkey would go over and nurture the stuffed turkey. And so they decided to cross-test this, and they put that sound of the chick turkey inside of the stuffed polecat. So the mother turkey had already torn apart the other polecat, but now when they put the sound of the chick that sounded like a turkey inside of this polecat, the turkey actually came over and started to nurture the polecat. So the moral of the story is that even though people are believing a certain thing, if you can sound in a certain voice that they find trusting and that they could decide to nurture rather than attack, your marketing will have a better chance of converting them. So when you ask about psychology and marketing, I would say that psychology, specifically copywriting, is probably 90% marketing, 90% psychology, and it's vital that we get it right. And if you get it wrong, what happens is, just like the polecat that didn't have the sound of the chick turkey in it, the turkey tore it to pieces because they got it wrong, right? It saw it as an enemy. So when you're doing marketing, you want to be on the same wavelength. But again, Cialdini's got 101 stories in this book. I highly recommend it.
Great response, and I think you guys liked that response as well, didn't you? I'll let you go ahead and write in the chat and ask other questions like that. I mean, these are fantastic questions, and influence the book. I put the name of the author above in the chat. It looks like Rolando has a question as far as how can I become an official expert on Wix in Mexico. Very good question. So it's actually switched over the rebranded process. They're now referred to as Wix partners, and you have the ability to become a Wix partner. However, you have to join the Wix Arena, now called the Wix Marketplace, and you have to submit at least 5 premium sites and get approved by Wix and their partners program in order to become with that. And if you go on there, you create your profile, and you start building sites for people, you should have no problem doing that, and then joining the Facebook group, which is where the real community takes place. But if you're talking about even realer community, I would say WixCon is where all the personal interactions really take place, and that happens every year, as I mentioned earlier in this live stream. For this June, it is currently canceled because of everything happening. But they're talking about moving it toward the end of the year. So that's how I would recommend becoming a Wix partner. Rose, how many books would you say you guys read per year?
In 1992, I read my first novel, my second novel. The first one was in 1979 called The Pearl by John Steinbeck, and I couldn't stand reading it. I didn't read it since. But in 93, I read The Firm by John Grisham because friends of mine were going to the movies and they all read it and they guilted me into reading it. So I read it and I went to the movies and realized how much better the book was. And I guess it was 1993, Christmas of 1993, I made a commitment that I was going to read a book a week from that point forward. And so I've done that. So 93 till now, I consume typically 50 books a year. Now I've changed it a little bit. I no longer read books to completion, unless it's a novel, but I typically read books to revelation. So I find a good point in a book, and I go and take action. Because what I used to do is I would read one book for fun and one book for work. So I'd read a novel, and then I'd read a book for work. And I'd read the book for work to finish it, because I wanted to hit my goal of a book a week. But then I found I wasn't implementing a lot of the great ideas. Cialdini's Influence book is a great example of that, actually. It's all dog-eared and turned over, but probably I only implemented a third of the ideas in that book because I read it to completion rather than reading it to revelation. So I find when I read the revelation, I get to the idea, and I implement it. And then I don't get so concerned about the amount of books I read in.
Absolutely. I would say I'm on track this year particularly to do about 15 to 20 books. I made it a point this year at the start of the year to start reading more. I'm reading particularly business books, Essentialism by Greg McCowan, School of Greatness by Lewis Howes, your book, The Favor. So I've got a few books on the docket. 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss. These are all books that I've read and am currently in. So that's my personal goal for this year. How about you?
No bueno on the read.
Enough at school. Enough at school.
No, I don't read books in school either. Yeah, no.
I didn't like reading the
And then we've got Brian that said his wife once bought him a book. He's been on the same page for the past 3 years.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I used to fall asleep when I read. I mean, it was horrible. I couldn't read because I fell asleep. But then I just found out there was no better place for me to get the knowledge. So it's a great place.
And then then Brian also said I missed Pop's current profession. Too busy pouring up. It was really urgent. Forgive me.
Yeah, it's all good. Pour up, Brian. My profession is I'm a consultant to small and solo law firm owners, helping them with their business challenges. So lawyers were taught how to be great technicians and lawyers. They were never taught how to run a small business. So I found a niche that they need my help, and that's the people that I help do that.
I could also answer this next one from Rose. It's directed to particularly you, Dad, you're owning your own company. What have you learned about work-life balance?
That's a good question. I think that when you're starting off, I think that's a bit of a misnomer. I don't think it's actually as possible as people might want to display it to be. I think you have to put in the time. So there was plenty of 18-hour, 24-hour days in the early days. Now I try to make sure I close my office, at certain times. But I tell you, so like I said, I believe you work hard to be 50% of the people, and I believe in an entrepreneur's life there are times when you just have to flat out outwork everybody. So while I had a pretty good lifestyle up till about 3.5, 4 weeks ago, where I could play golf a couple times a week, and I had a really streamlined system where I probably only had to put in maybe 20 or 30 hours, I'm now back to 12-hour days because my clients went from having, a question every other day that I had to answer to a question every other hour. So I just think there are times when that waxes and wanes, and it's much to my East Coast Italian bride's chagrin, right? She's now looking at me going, hey, you're 50 years old, and you're back to working 12-hour days, why are you doing this? And now I don't do it for the money, I do it because I just feel an obligation to serve and to be there for my clients. But yeah, work-life balance is important.
We had a great event today with our charity.
Yeah. Absolutely. Work-life balance is, it's very important. I agree that in the beginning of starting a business, it's a bit more difficult to obtain, to keep pushing forward and keep the relationships that are most meaningful to you in your life afloat. Because you have to make sure you have a healthy relationship between turning your business on and turning your business off, which means, sometimes taking a step back from the computer and putting it away for the night, or taking a step off of your phone and turning off email for the night. Those type of things are practices I would recommend putting into play, and it's not easy. It's not easy, especially in times like these when you're quarantined and there's really not much else to do during the day. It's easy to just keep working. But just try your best to balance it. In fact, she brought this out. I talk about work-life balance in this. This is my book, The Dorm Room Entrepreneur. Let me know in the chat if you'd like a copy of it. I can reach out to you and get you a copy of that. Working on that. Yep, working on that.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is discipline is key, right? So having rules of engagement for yourself. So, like, I don't answer email first thing in the morning. A lot of people wake up, thing to do is pop up their eyes and look at their phone. I've got some structure and some disciplines. I control my first 30 and my last 30. I try to make sure that Maria and I have time, but it's harder now with everybody home and everything else. But I try to make sure we have time where we can spend together. And I would say this: when you're with your business, be with your business. When you're with your family, be with your family. When you're with your God, be with your God. So don't let the things cross over. So try not to have your cell phone at the dinner table, right? We always had that rule.
Right.
Try not to take too many personal calls during the course of a day just for the sake of chit chat. Get your work done when you have to get your work done, and get your play done when you get your play done. It's a good balance if you can set some boundaries.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. It looks like Brian, interesting, he says, my current client is an attorney doing his own thing as a court mediator.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be the answers there as far as work-life balance. Again, that chat is open. If you guys have some questions, we'll probably go ahead and wrap up within the next 15 minutes or so. So if you have any final questions, we're happy to help answer them. I think we're all having a good time. Exactly. Yeah, that's the problem.
He can sit here, give him another cigar. He's good. He'll sit here all night.
It's so easy to just roll. It's fun. But yes, that chat is open to you guys. I would kindly ask that if you've enjoyed the live stream so far, you found some value, you've had some fun, that you drop a like down below. Share it. Yep. If you want some other people on, we start getting an influx of questions, we'll go through them. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because we've got a lot of fun and interesting content here on the channel, especially with everything going on. Trying to provide the most helpful content I can.
Did you two record this and then post it to
Yep. So this will be available after the fact as well.
You know what though? It's great. It's great, just to, have people come together and something different to do during this time of quarantine. And,
Yeah.
I mean, for as bad as things are, there's a lot of good that's happening on the other end of it. I think connectedness and, you know, families playing board games together and eating supper together and, you know, sitting on the porch together and communing with these people all around the world.
Yeah,
I mean, I
literally.
think this is great.
Yeah.
Kids out riding their bikes.
Kids out riding their
That-
bikes again.
That
and
is nuts.
taking
Literally.
walks. And,
I've never seen so many people
Yeah.
out riding bikes, running,
Yep.
you know, being active. It's nice on that front to be able to see that. That's something I haven't seen in a long time, to that capacity at least.
But the kids look happy in these pictures.
Yeah.
You know, they truly look happy. When you see pictures, the kids actually look happy
I agree with that.
because there's no place to run. Nobody's stressed. Like, they're stressed because of world crises, but they're not, as a family
Yeah, but to a
unit,
kid, they don't.
but they feel actually safe because they have people there with them, right? So
Right.
it's different. It's just a different time. A different time.
Looks like we got another question directed to you. If you could teach everyone in the world one concept, what concept would have the biggest impact on humanity?
Yeah.
Questions to you.
Skewed.
Yeah. Because ours is going to be faith.
Yeah. So listen.
I would
I'm not,
agree with you.
I'm not gonna, you know,
Wear your faith on your
love
sleeve.
love God with all your heart. Right?
Yeah,
So
love your
I'm not gonna tell you what to believe. That's not my job. But if I've got a message for the world, love God with all your heart and soul,
What is the-
and love thy neighbor. You know, so just I don't mean to be. I wouldn't have said this answer 20 years ago. Like my first answer in my mouth would have been love, right? Probably would have been profit. But you know, I'll tell you that, you know, as I've gotten older, love is more important. And somebody would argue, well, that's because you have money. Well, no, because I used to think that, you know, you got money and then you got happy, and that's not how it worked at all. Once I found the truth about love is when the money actually started showing up, which is crazy as it might seem. So, yeah, love thy God with all thy heart and love thy neighbor. I think those are the two best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an easy answer, you know, that's an individual answer. There's different answers for business, but that's an individual answer.
Yeah, I think
For
that's.
humanity,
Yeah,
I think
for
that's the
humanity.
answer.
And then for all of us, what do you attribute the biggest success of your life to? How about your largest failures? Yeah.
I don't want to go first. The biggest success in my life. First, I gotta figure out what that would be.
You're still on the journey.
Yeah. So I'm just getting started here. I don't want to go first.
I
You're
can,
the
I,
middle
I
of the
can go.
story.
I can say, you know, for sure the biggest success business-wise in my life is definitely what I've got going right now. This channel, being able to do what I love, but more importantly, having a life of freedom. You know, I'm not constrained. I get the opportunity to be free in what I do. You know, I've created an opportunity path to make towards. So the freedom is the biggest success. The largest failure, I mean, man, there's a lot of them I could go to. There's a lot of businesses that I've tried that have failed. There's a lot of things I've tried in my existing business that have failed. As far as how about my largest ones, I would just say, you know, definitely be careful how you grow. Don't grow too fast because growth is an incredible thing. It really is. However, if you grow too fast, you can outgrow what you've already started building if you don't have the infrastructure and systems in place. That was a mistake I made, but I learned it pretty quick.
Well, again, I think some of your biggest successes are some of your biggest failures. And like I said earlier, is trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your gut, being true to who you are, you know, following the conviction and the spirit, going from the point of faith. Some of my biggest successes obviously would be through, you know, I think just building, you know, a great marriage, a great family, great friendships, and being loving to other people, because it does come back to you tenfold. So that success does come back.
Absolutely.
More so than riches, I mean, that'll follow, but that's not really joy. It might be happiness, but it's not joy.
Yeah.
Difference, big difference.
Yeah, I would reiterate the remain debt-free. And in the spirit, plus on what you said, Michael, about growth, I would say that growing profitably, right? So to steal a Mike McCallowism, profit first is vital. So ensuring that your company is profitable is probably one of the most important things that you can make sure you do. Not so you can drive a Ferrari. If you want to drive a Ferrari, have at it. But so that you can help more people. The more profitable your firm is, the more you're able to serve more clients. We get caught up in this world where the Ubers, Teslas of the world are losing billions of dollars, and it seems like it's socially acceptable because they're funded by all these big VC companies. And the reality is most small businesses aren't funded by VCs. They're funded by loans, they're funded by sweat equity, they're funded by reinvesting capital. And so the best way to be able to be a good service to your client, to your customer, to yourself, and to your family is to build a business based around a profitable model. And so it takes a while to become an expert at business, and it takes a lot of failures, but pouring in, being a constant student, and avoiding debt, maintaining profitability will go a long way to being able to not only realize the dreams that you want to realize within your business, but have it support your lifestyle rather than completely undermine it.
Definitely. I like that. Do you have anything or still working?
I guess for the first question, what I attribute my biggest success of my life to, I was born, into a family that supports me and that, I can do whatever I want to do and they're going to support me. So I think, I wouldn't have success without them.
Absolutely. That's good. And it looks like Brian here says, I said earlier this week, people mistreated the planet and the planet's making its correction. I think hopefully it will change the mindset of many when and if this dust settles.
We're the virus.
Yeah.
We're the virus.
We are the virus.
And we are the cure.
Yeah. Very, very good point, Brian. Another question directed to you over there, Pops. When hiring people, do you think it's better to hire a person who does multiple things partially well or a person who does just one thing really well?
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound like a lawyer because I'm not one, but it depends, right? And so it depends on what the role is and what they're trying to do. But I believe in developing specialists inside of a company. And so I would rather overpay a person for a role that they're very, very good at and have it do it on a limited basis rather than hire a jack of all trades and have them try to be really good or partially good at all of them. My experience is that I go out and I seek out experts at what they do now. And rather than trying to hire them full-time, which I may not be able to afford inside my salary caps, but I can hire them on a partial hire on a consulting basis to do very specific tasks for me that solve a problem. Now, dollar for dollar, hour for hour, I'm paying a significant rate over what you would hire somebody to do that. But now you end up with two things. One, you end up with flex expenses because now you don't have a full-time employee. And two, you're having somebody do what they're really, really good at. So my vote is, generally speaking, let's hire somebody that's an expert at what it is that they do.
I think we might have to get a duo channel going. We got sound advice. Is this a potential next channel?
I didn't think about that. I'm here having a drink with my kid. So, yeah, I mean, whatever you want.
Awesome. Perfect. So those were a great little round of
Specialist
questions.
experts, though. Virtual independent contractor as compared to full-time employee.
Yeah.
Define it. Independent contractor.
Yeah. So I hire independent contractors. We have lots of employees.
Yeah.
But we try to hire where we can independent contractors. So
They're
we're
the
not.
specialists.
They're the specialists, right? So I'm attempting to hire people on a 1099 where they have their own LLC and an independent contractor, but they hire out their labor, and you pay a high dollar for their labor, but you don't have to pay W-2 taxes, and they're not an employee. So there's a lot of benefits to that. But the biggest benefit is you likely don't have to train them. They just flat out know what to do.
Well, and there's different guidelines for them also
From a tax
from a
perspective
tax
and a government
perspective and
Sure.
how they can be managed and different things. So you have to seek your laws on that.
Yeah, make sure you seek out all your laws.
Yep.
Hey Jess, why don't you come hop in for the last few minutes of the live stream?
All right.
We got baby Justin here too. Just a reminder, we're just about what, almost an hour, under an hour and a half now until Outlandish comes out, right? It's almost 7 o'clock.
Our time. It comes out 8.
8. Yeah.
Papa Richard and Lindsay and Josh.
Yep. So Outlandish dropping in an hour time, Pacific time, about an hour, 19 minutes. So just a reminder to check that out. I'll throw a link to that in this description and the description with the interview with Baby Just. We've got besides the music here, just for analytics purposes, is it possible to add cost price for a product to look at what your revenue per product is in total in a month and how much money you are sitting left with? Possible to add cost price. I mean, personally, I would recommend a tool for this, such as QuickBooks P&L tool. So I mean, you can get basic analytics from Wix if you're speaking Wix specific, and I'm not sure. You can get basic analytics from Wix as far as, or drop shippers too, if you're using a drop shipper, as far as, you know, what your total revenue is on a month. And with drop shippers too, you can see what your cost was. But I would recommend using a tool like QuickBooks to measure profit and loss, to measure your costs. I think that's the easiest way to go. Perfect. Awesome. All right, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left here. So for everyone still on and watching, first, thank you for joining us. It's been fun. We've had a lot of great questions. And I wanted to give everyone one last opportunity to go ahead and ask any questions you may have. Again, we've got about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to go ahead and close up. So, yeah, it may take a second.
Yeah, it took a minute or two.
We'll see if it unfreezes here.
Maybe just who broke the system.
Can they hear?
Is the phone still rolling?
Oh, you got a low battery warning on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. All right, we're back on. For those of you, there we go. I apologize. For those of you, we had a little glitch there, low battery warning on the phone. We're going on for about 5 more minutes, so if you've got any final questions for us, we're happy to answer. Thank you guys so much for participating. It's been really fun. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And then it looks like last question from Mom.
Oh, for me.
As a mother, was it difficult for you to balance time for you and time for your kids?
You know what? When they were little, no, because I stayed at home. I was blessed with the opportunity up until at least you were to preschool and kindergarten to be home. Justy was the little one that ended up going into a child care system because I was going back into the workforce at that point, and that was difficult in the beginning. But then I realized that I needed to take care of me, and it worked out better. And I think ultimately I probably was a better person when I did do that. Although I didn't give them quantity of time, I gave them quality of time when I did give them time. And then when I had to go into the workforce full time because I had to, as we are an entrepreneurial family and we're building businesses, somebody had to be the rock and the stability, and I was that person, coming with multiple licenses and backgrounds and different aspects and industries. So I did play that role, and then I stopped and came home when they were teenagers, when I realized that by me not being there was going to be more of a disservice as they got older, because they're going to get into much more trouble. So, you know, I kind of know that was the rationale. I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to be home and be there for them during the teenagers, And then, you know, they started venturing out and I went back into the workforce again. So the balance is right now that I work when I have to work and I play when I could play. And I think we're actually quite balanced right now. But that's based off of being, you know, self-employed and, you know, having the discipline as an entrepreneurial family, follow a lot of the principles we spoke about today and putting them into practice. If it wasn't for that and the teachings that we've all implemented, I don't think that would have happened.
Awesome. Good answer. Good answer. Very good answer. Yeah, let's get a round of applause. Let's get a like for that. And then Brian here, it's been really nice hanging with you all. God bless. Michael, look forward to more content, man. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with all of us, of course. And then he says, YouTube Pops, remember the YT channel. You heard it. You've been asked. It's out there. It's on the internet. Everything on the internet is true. So,
What happens on the internet stays.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'll give one last opportunity. If anybody has any final question or questions, this is your last chance. And then we're going to go ahead and close it up. And
It's been a great night.
it has. It's been a really good
I
night.
hope everyone enjoyed this as much as we did.
Yeah, I think we've all
Please
had fun.
share. This will be fun to do again. If we're going to be in quarantine
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, let us know if you want to
We'll
see
be
another
one big
one.
happy family here soon.
Exactly.
One big happy Wix family.
Yeah, there we go, Wix Nation family. But she's absolutely right. Make sure to share this. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate how today's live stream went? Did you like the quality? If we do decide we want to do this again, please let me know in the chat if you'd like to see another one of these virtual happy hour Q&A sessions with the family. We can absolutely do it. Brian, you be safe as well. I just saw your comment there. And we're more than happy to do that. We can, you know, change up the scene, the setting, get the camera on landscape mode where I would have liked it to be, but
We'll build a
too blunt.
fire and we'll chat around the fire. Fireside chat.
Yep.
We'll do a fireside chat.
Fireside chat. There we go. But again, in the chat, go ahead on a scale from 1 to 10. How was tonight's live stream? How was tonight's virtual happy hour Q&A?
1's not very good, 10's very good.
Yeah. Well, 1 being
Ick.
let's not do this again, and 10 being absolutely let's do this again next week.
And all kinds of comments that we could make this better or do things a little bit differently because I'm assuming you
Yep. So we got a 10. I guess that.
1 10, that's it. All we need is one.
Well, all we
That's all
need
we
is
need is
one. All we need is one. And then
You have us convinced.
we'll be back next week.
Hooray!
I'm gonna be live.
Happy
That's
hour!
Yeah. No, the elbow.
Oh,
The elbow.
there you go.
The elbow. There we go. We got the elbow in. It's the COVID shake, everybody. It's the COVID shake. Seriously though, be careful. Stay healthy
Yeah,
out
be
there.
safe.
Keeping up with the Strauchs. Uh-oh, we got a name of our new series. Keeping up with the Strauchs.
The Jameses.
Perfect. All right, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and
Instead of
close
the
it up there.
Joneses, the Jameses.
Well, we're going to go ahead and close it up there. I appreciate everyone watching. Again, sounds like this is an opportunity to go ahead and do it again next week. So we'll be back live next week. Thank you again for watching. And stay tuned on the channel for more awesome content coming your way during this quarantine. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you on our next one.
Later.
Yep.